Hey guys, what is up? Is Limitless Polls here, back at it again with another YouTube video, and this one is titled NBA Exposed, because one, I needed a title that is going to get clicks, and two, I am going to expose the NBA a little bit for giving bad calls to smaller market teams. Because I have here stats that I have compiled all of the games, all 65 of the games that the Pacers have played against every team, and I have the free throw attempts. I have whether the Pacers won, whether they lost, who they faced, how many free throws they attempted, all that good stuff. I have it on these two pieces of paper right here. So, yeah. I'm not going in order of when the game was played. I'm just going in order of team, because I just have all the teams listed. So, Detroit. First game against Detroit, the Pacers lost. Detroit had 33 free throw attempts to the Pacers 24. It's a little fishy. It's not that fishy. Second game against Detroit, the Pacers lose again, with Detroit attempting 9 free throws and the Pacers attempting 13. That we were probably just terrible that day. The Pacers win with Detroit shooting 18 free throws and the Pacers shooting 25. It's not that fishy. I mean, it's a little bit, but not that fishy. And then the Pacers lose against Detroit in their last matchup against Detroit, with Detroit shooting 26 free throws and the Pacers shooting 20. That's not very fishy. There are some suspicious games in here, and when there are suspicious games, I will say why I think it's suspicious. So this might have to be split up into two parts. I don't know. We're already 2 minutes in, and I'm already getting on to the second team. Okay. Cleveland, in the first matchup against the Pacers, Cleveland shot 29 free throws and the Pacers shot 13. The Pacers lost. Kind of fishy. Second game against Cleveland, Cleveland shot 25 free throws and the Pacers shot 21, and we won. Third game against Cleveland, Cleveland shot 20 free throws and the Pacers shot 14, and the Pacers won. So, yeah, the only time we lost was when there was a very large free throw margin of 16. It's a little bit suspicious, just a little bit. You'll notice a lot of times the Pacers lose. The other team has more free throw attempts. Just saying. I'm not saying that means, NBA is biased against, the other teams. I'm not saying Adam Silver would I'm not Adam Silver definitely not rigging games. I'm not. YouTube, don't get mad at me, please. I'm not. No, I didn't do it. Don't get mad at me for saying that. I'm going to say some controversial things, most likely. Now, on to Brooklyn. First matchup against Brooklyn. Brooklyn shot 26 free throw attempts, and Indiana shot 20, and we won. Second matchup against Brooklyn. Brooklyn shot 24 free throw attempts. The Pacers shot 17. We won. And then the third matchup with Brooklyn. Brooklyn shot 32 free throws. Pacers shot 11. Can you guess what the outcome was? We lost in the game with the biggest free throw margin of 32 minus 11. If my math is not failing me, that is 21. It's a difference of 21 free throw attempts. That's pretty suspicious. That's pretty suspicious. If we were winning and the only game we lose is the one game that there's a very, very large free throw margin, difference between, that's kind of suspicious. You gotta admit, even you Brooklyn Nets fans kind of have to admit it's a little fishy, a little suspicious. Now on to Chicago. I hate Chicago. Not like a city, like I just hate their sports franchises. I don't like the Bears. I don't like the White Sox. I'm a Tigers fan. I obviously don't like the Blackhawks. I'm a Red Wings fan. And the only time I like really liked the Bulls, I guess, was when Michael Jordan was playing, but I wasn't even alive. I just respect what their team did. I don't really respect the current Chicago Bulls. Like, you benched Zach LaVine when he's doing good. Cocaine? Yeah, they probably were snorting cocaine. And that's another topic. Okay. First matchup against Chicago. Chicago attempts 25 free throws to the Pacers 27. We win. Second matchup. Chicago attempts 16 free throws to the Pacers 14. Pacers win. Third matchup. Chicago attempts 15 free throws to the Pacers 22. We win. And the fourth matchup. Chicago attempts 15 free throws to the Pacers 33. We win. And yes, I will admit, even when the Pacers have very large free throw margins, that is a bit suspicious. But you'll notice that doesn't happen that often, and it happens much more often, where the Pacers are the ones that are getting bad foul calls. Very few times do we actually get good calls. Very few times. You gotta savor those games, Pacers fans. You gotta savor them. Okay, now off to Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe. It's around where Mr. Beast lives. Okay, the one game that if I had if I was making sports content when this happened, oh my gosh. First matchup against Charlotte. Charlotte has 42 free throw attempts to the Pacers 7. I know Charlotte is a small market team itself, but they had a rising star in Devontae Graham at the time. And there was kind of a narrative for what if they make a comeback because Kemba Walker just left them. So, it's a little bit suspicious. And if I had a YouTube channel that was at this time I was like doing gaming reviews and I didn't know if I should transition into sports, then if my YouTube channel was like dealing with sports and like doing rants and stuff during when this happened, there'd be like a 20-minute long rant on my channel of me just screaming 42-7. So, second matchup against Charlotte. Charlotte attempts 35 free throws to the Pacers 20. Pacers win. Third matchup. Charlotte attempts 22 free throws to the Pacers 14. Pacers win. Fourth and final matchup. Charlotte attempts 18 free throws to the Pacers 13. We win. If you'll notice, not once did the Pacers attempt more free throws than the Charlotte Hornets. That's a bit suspicious. Just a little bit. Not that much. I'm not being sarcastic. Just a little. You'll tell if I'm being sarcastic. I will make it blatantly obvious if I am being sarcastic. We only faced Washington once. The NBA season was shortened, and I know you're going to say, well, these statistics are invalid because it wasn't a full NBA season. If there is even one comment that says that in the comment section down below, I'll do a part 2 and I'll do a full season. I'll do last year's season or the year before that season. And something tells me you'll get similar results. But, Okay, Washington. Washington attempts 19 free throws to the Pacers 26. Pacers win. And that's a little bit suspicious for why didn't the Wizards get that many calls. But it's not like a really big gap, so. Here we have some really low free throw attempt numbers. Orlando Magic, in their first matchup against the Pacers, attempt 6 free throws to the Pacers 5. Pacers win. Second matchup, Orlando attempts 9 free throws to the Pacers 16. The Pacers win. Some pretty low free throw attempts. Yeah. Now time for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We won the Victor Oladipo trade, Thunder fans. Like, it's not even a debate. It's not even a debate. I know you're going to say, well, we have all those draft picks, and we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'll take Victor Oladipo over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the Pacers don't need draft picks. The oldest person on our team is, like, just turning 30, I'm pretty sure. So, and we also have really good young prospects like Aaron Holiday. Even Nazma Trulong and Brian Bowen, they're pretty promising. But, story for another time. First matchup against the Pacers, Oklahoma City attempts 24 free throws to the Pacers 13. Pacers win. Second matchup, Oklahoma attempts 10 free throws to the Pacers 17. The Pacers win. Nothing too suspicious. That first matchup for the Pacers, like that, I was at that game, and yeah, there were some bad foul calls that game. It was terrible. Houston attempts the one matchup we had against Houston. Houston attempts 29 free throws to the Pacers 26. Pacers lose. 1 second, my throat's feeling like a little bad. Is there anything in this Dr. Pepper? I guess there was. We're good. Okay, my throat feels better. Back to the video. Right. Okay, we're on Milwaukee. It's actually surprising. There aren't really suspicious stats. You'd think that there would be really suspicious stats considering we're in the same division and Milwaukee's really good, and there'd be more incentive for them to kind of juice Milwaukee's foul numbers. But either they knew Giannis was just going to dominate us, or maybe I'm just wrong about this whole thing, or maybe the ref just screwed up this once, because there's not really that many suspicious free throw numbers. First matchup, Milwaukee attempts 7 free throws to the Pacers 9. Pacers lose. Second matchup, Milwaukee attempts 17 free throws to the Pacers 5. Pacers lose. Third matchup, Milwaukee attempts 25 free throws to the Pacers 24. Pacers win. Milwaukee attempts 22 free throws to the Pacers 11. Pacers lose. Only thing suspicious is the only time we win is when our free throw stats are in the 20s and very close together. So I feel like that 7-9 in the first matchup, I feel like that was just terrible officiating on both sides. Or there just actually weren't that many fouls. Sometimes that does happen where it's honest and genuine and there actually isn't that many fouls. But most of the time, that's not the case. Especially with the Charlotte game, like that was not the case. Now on to Memphis. In the Grizzlies' first matchup against the Pacers, they attempted 13 free throws to the Pacers 10. Pacers won. Second matchup, the Grizzlies attempt 19 free throws to the Pacers 15. Pacers win. Ha ha ha, Grizzlies, you cannot beat the Pacers because you suck now. You lost Mike Conley and Marc Gasol, and you only really have Ja Morant. Your team's falling apart. I'm sorry. I like the grit and grind era too. And like that 2014, 2013, 2012 teams with Zach Randolph and Conley and Gasol, those teams were awesome. So, sorry. I respected your team back then, but just now I don't. Team sucks. Now we go to Utah. In the Jazz first matchup, they attempt 25 free throws to the Pacers 16. Pacers win. Second matchup. The heck is that? I just heard something weird. Utah. Yep, right there. Second matchup, they attempt 12 free throws to the Pacers 7, and Pacers lose. That's a little suspicious, but I mean, not really. Now on to Atlanta. Atlanta attempts 18 free throws to the Pacers 28. Pacers win. That's a little suspicious for the Pacers because we got 10 more free throws and we won. Rarely ever happens. Second matchup, Atlanta attempts 23 free throws, the Pacers 15. Pacers win. And then this last matchup is a bit of an oddity. Atlanta attempts 24 free throws to the Pacers 35. And the Pacers lose. It's a bit of an oddity. But that happens in sports sometimes. You'd think we win. But nope. Now off to Philadelphia, where I respect your football team, but I do not respect your basketball team. I am sorry. First matchup, the 76ers attempt 36 free throws to the Pacers 25. Pacers lose. Second matchup, Philadelphia attempts 20 free throws to the Pacers 26. Pacers lose. And then the third matchup, Philadelphia attempts 19 free throws to the Pacers 31. Pacers win. Only time the Pacers won was when we had a large free throw margin. That's a little suspicious. Now off to New York. Oh, yes, New York. If you're a Pacers fan, even if you weren't, growing up in the 90s, even if you're a Pacers fan of my age, which there probably aren't many of because most of the kids my age are freaking bandwagons. I'm a Celtics fan. I'm a Warriors fan. Frick out of here, man. Freaking Dallas Mavericks fan. I am a fan of every single freaking team except for the team that is in the state that I am living in. Unless you were born, if you were born in a different state other than Indiana, I get it. But if you were born in Indiana and you're a fan of any other team other than the Indiana Pacers and you call yourself a basketball fan, I think you should never be allowed to watch a single basketball game for as long as you live. Like, you're in Indiana, where we have a rich history of basketball and our team is good, but you choose to support a team that is not in Indiana and you were born in Indiana. Someone was on drugs when they made that decision. But, everybody hates New York who's a Pacers fan. New York sucks. Okay, in the first matchup, New York attempts 21 free throws, the Pacers 13. Pacers win. New York attempts 23 free throws, the Pacers 21. Pacers lose. And final matchup, New York attempts 25 free throws, the Pacers 33. Pacers win. A little suspicious. A little bit. Los Angeles Clippers. Los Angeles Clippers attempt 27 free throws, the Pacers 28. The Pacers lose again, and kind of another oddity. Because you'd think if we were even close to their free throw numbers, let alone be ahead, even by a little bit, you'd think we win. Because usually we're nowhere close in their free throw numbers. Because they're a Los Angeles team. The NBA can't afford to have a shiny team from Los Angeles lose in the cornrows of Indiana. Ugh. Rich snobs. Okay. Boston Celtics versus Indiana Pacers now. In the first game, Boston Celtics attempt 17 free throws to Pacers 36. Pacers win. Before you say, oh, well, Pacers only won because, free throws. at that time, I do not believe Victor Oladipo was playing fully healthy. Pretty sure he was still on a minutes restriction there. And also, they had way more star power than we did. And it was Boston. So this just doesn't really make much sense. But, I guess, you got us back in the next matchup because you won. Pacers lost this matchup with the Celtics attempting 22 free throws to the Pacers 11 when it should have freaking been Victor Oladipo leads the Pacers to a glorious freaking comeback. But no, the refs miss an and one three-pointer. Marcus Smart definitely doesn't hip check Aaron Holiday in the end, If a player's right here and my hip's right here and I go, that's definitely not a hip check. Nope. And there's a ref standing like right freaking there. I didn't see it. Got my freaking glasses on. Freaking cataracts. Nope. Take those out. I can't see. And I'm an NBA ref. I'm gonna have a full... I've had multiple Yeah. I have had multiple full-blown rants in this video. Just going through the teams and saying their names. Should I be concerned for my mental health with how attached I am to the game of basketball and how much of a grudge I hold against every single one of these teams? I don't know. I'm just a loyal fan to my team. Now on to the one game we played against Sacramento. Sacramento attempts 15 free throws, Pacers 18. Pacers win. Toronto. The team that gave me much views and many death threats. Toronto. Okay. First matchup against Toronto, they attempt 24 free throws, Pacers 20. Pacers win. Next matchup, they attempt 24 to the Pacers 16. Pacers lose. Next matchup, they attempt 17 to the Pacers 22. Pacers lose. The next matchup, they attempt 18 to the Pacers 17. Pacers lose. And also, Kyle Lowry definitely doesn't, freaking act like this is hockey and body check Victor Oladipo or anything. That definitely doesn't happen. I mean, that's crazy. Calling a foul on the Raptors? Wow. They're such a huge basketball city since 1995. It's not like Indiana's been a basketball city since, 1910. But, no. Los Angeles, in Toronto, in Boston, they're basketball cities. But not the state that was hosting women's basketball tournaments before women had the right to vote or anything, Definitely not a basketball state or city or anything. Okay, now on to Miami. Ah, yes, cocaine, my favorite. Okay, first game. Miami attempts 19 free throws to the Pacers 12. Pacers lose. And Miami attempts 25 free throws to the Pacers 25. Pacers lose. Very rare occurrence there where a team shoots the same amount of free throws as the Pacers. Strange. Now against the New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans in the first matchup attempt 20 free throws. The Pacers 29. Pacers lose. Then they attempt, in the second matchup, attempt 25 to the Pacers 27. Pacers lose. Now on to Denver. On down to South Park. Suck my balls, Kyle. Okay, I'm South Park, if you don't know what I'm referencing, but suck my balls, Kyle. Okay, sorry. That was cringy. Okay, now back to the sport of basketball, which is what we're supposed to be talking about. First matchup. Denver attempts 27 to the Pacers 25 free throws, and the Pacers lose. Then they attempt 32 to the Pacers 19, and the Pacers win. Actually won. When they attempt way more free throws than us. The refs probably got yelled at by Adam Silver after that one. Now off to the one time we faced the Lakers. Lakers attempt 17 free throws, the Pacers 20, and the Pacers win. We beat LeBron. We beat the Lakers. The Lakers can suck every Indiana Pacers fan's nuts because Los Angeles sucks as a city. Freaking, just not even gonna get into that. I can't wait till you float off into the ocean. Once you've already ruined, how California had nice weather and stuff. You've already ruined that. And then there are people moving from, California into Indiana trying to ruin this great state. No, we need to keep all people from Los Angeles and California. We need to keep those people out. We need to keep the state good. We need any of that pollution. Now against Minnesota, first matchup. Minnesota attempts 16 free throws to Pacers 12. Pacers win. And then they attempt 21 free throws to the Pacers 20. Pacers win. And now Phoenix attempts 26 to the Pacers 20. Pacers win. Now then on to the second paper. We've seen some pretty fishy matchups. There aren't any really fishy matchups left. Like any suspicious ones. But I'll still read these off to you. Golden State Warriors attempt 23 free throws to Pacers 13, and guess who wins? The Indiana Pacers. Haha. Curry out for the season. Out for the freaking season. All you freaking Warriors fans, haha. Victor Oladipo gets injured. Ha 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 ha. Guess what? Curry gets injured. Out for the freaking season. Let's go. That's no ill will to Steph Curry. I like Steph Curry. He's a good basketball player, and I like him. But I'm only purely making fun of his injury because you made fun of Victor Oladipo's injury. So, ha. Hopefully I didn't wake anybody up. Else I'm going to get yelled at. What time is it? Almost 2:40 in the morning. Hopefully I didn't wake my dad up. He does have a belt. Okay, now, Portland. On to Portland. First game, they attempt 25 free throws to the Pacers 21. Pacers lose. Then they attempt 14 to the Pacers. 14 free throws to the Pacers 23. Pacers win. And Dallas attempts 23 to the Pacers 11. Pacers lose. Then they attempt 25 to the Pacers 18. Pacers win. San Antonio attempts 19 to Pacers 26. Pacers win. I rushed through that because there wasn't really any interesting stat lines through that. And if you've watched this whole thing, it's almost 30 minutes. And to that, good job, you're a loyal fan. If you've made it this far, even if you skipped ahead, as long as you've watched at least like 5 minutes of this video, good on you. I can't even watch 5 minutes of my own videos. But that's probably because I've already seen it through my own eyes, so I already know what happened. So any of the jokes or anything that I made that I'm kind of oh yeah, I made this, I'm oh well, I already made that joke and it's already in my head. What's there to watch for? I already know all these stats. I had to look them up for an hour. Yeah. So, see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna do more NHL videos because my Victor Bratstram, I know it's pronounced Bratstram now because it has the 2 dots over the O, which makes the O pronounced like an A. And the only reason I know that is because my name is like that. It's spelled Moening, but it has 2 dots over the O, so it's pronounced Manning. So instead of Bratstrom, it's Bratstram. So sorry, Victor Bratstram, for butchering your name for a whole 14-minute video, which I think at this moment 65 people have viewed. It's pretty good for this channel. Just waiting for the days when those 10 views or 10,000 views and those 60 views or 60,000 views. I'll even take that. To some channels that might be very small view numbers, but to me that's like the lifelong dream that I'm trying to get this channel to. because I just like doing this for fun, and I want to get into that. So, cannot thank you guys enough for 100 subscribers. Still thanking you like a bunch of videos later after it happened, but still gotta thank you for it. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Chicago sucks. Go Detroit Red Wings.